Assalamu alaikum, this is Maria Zulfikar welcoming you to the English news from Btv-Chattogram. Let's begin with the top stories. Prime Minister Tarique Rahman calls upon armed forces to uphold country sovereignty rising above party affiliation. Health Minister urges to make measles vaccination more popular through campaigning. Prime Minister to inaugurate farmers' card distribution in Tangail on Tuesday as government to issue the cards in 3 phases. Prevention of misinformation equally important as free flow of information, says Information and Broadcasting Minister. Heel community's farewell and welcoming celebrations of New Year begins in the capital with various colorful events. "38 foot-over bridges being constructed by Chattogram City Corporation to reduce road accidents," hopes City Mayor. US and Iran failed to reach agreement in Islamabad, talks for ending war permanently jeopardizing fragile ceasefire. And BCB announces squad for first 2 ODIs of 3-match series against New Zealand. Viewers, those were the top stories. Now moving on to the details. Prime Minister Tarique Rahman directed the members of the armed forces to uphold sovereignty of the country and dignity of the Constitution, rising above party affiliation and opinions. He also called upon the members of the armed forces to maintain public trust and stay committed to serving the nation with integrity, dedication, and sacrifice. The Prime Minister made the call while addressing a darbar for the military officials at the Dhaka Cantonment Auditorium today. Addressing the darbar, the Prime Minister highly praised the professionalism, discipline, and contributions of the armed forces in safeguarding national security and enhancing Bangladesh's image in the international arena. He particularly commended their role in maintaining the overall law and order in the country since August 2024 and in ensuring the smooth and successful completion of the 13th National Parliamentary election. Tarique Rahman assured full government support to enhance the future capabilities, modernization, and effective participation of the armed forces in national development. Later, Prime Minister Tarique Rahman answered various questions from the members of the armed forces and assured them of solutions to their problems. Prime Minister's Defense Advisor, Chief of Army, Navy, Air Forces, and senior military officials attended the darbar. A meeting of the National Committee on Hajj Management was held at the Cabinet Room of the Bangladesh Secretariat today. Prime Minister Tarique Rahman presided over the meeting. PM's Deputy Press Secretary Jahidul Islam Rani said concerned ministers, secretaries, and senior officials were present in the meeting. 2 newly elected members of parliament from Sherpur and Bogra took oath as member of the 13th Jatiyo Shongshad. Jatiyo Shongshad Speaker Hafizuddin Ahmed Bir Bikram administered the oath to the newly elected MPs Mahbubul Haq Rubal from Sherpur 3 and Rizal Karim Badshah from Bogra 6 constituencies. At his office in Shongshad Bhavan today, Prime Minister Tarique Rahman was present at the oath-taking ceremony. After taking oath, the two MPs signed the oath book as per parliamentary procedure. Deputy Speaker, Ministers, Chief Whips were present at the oath-taking ceremony. On February 12, election in Sherpur 3 was postponed due to the death of a valid candidate. Besides, Prime Minister Tarique Rahman, who was elected from both Dhaka 17 and Bogra 6, later vacated the Bogra 6 seat. The second phase of the measles vaccination campaign has begun today in 4 city corporations across the country. The program will run from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day except weekly holidays. More than 12 lakh children will be vaccinated under this initiative in the 4 city corporations. Health and Family Welfare Minister Sardar Mohammad Shawkat Hussain inaugurated the vaccination campaign today at Nagar Bhavan in the capital. At the function, the Health Minister said proper implementation of the vaccination program in city corporations could ensure lasting success in preventing measles. He also emphasized the need to promote the campaign more widely through publicity. The program, presided over by Dhaka South City Corporation Administrator Abdul Salam, was also addressed by State Minister for Railways and Road Transport and Highways Habibur Rashid Habib and Director General of the Directorate General of Health Services, Professor Dr. Prabhat Chandra Vishas. Meanwhile, in Dhaka North City Corporation, the measles vaccination campaign was inaugurated by State Minister for Health Dr. M.A. Mohit at Irshad Field in Bonani. On the occasion, the State Minister urged politicians to go door to door to raise awareness about vaccination in order to curb the spread of measles. He added that the success of the emergency campaign depends on involving people from all levels of society. Dhaka North City Corporation Administrator Shafiqul Islam Khan was also present at the event. The government will distribute agricultural cards to farmers across the country in 3 phases. The cards will be issued by categorizing farmers into 5 groups. Through these cards, farmers will receive 10 types of benefits, including access to agricultural inputs at fair prices, irrigation facilities, and agricultural loans on easy terms. Prime Minister Tarique Rahman is set to inaugurate the project on Tuesday, the first day of Pohela Boishakh. Agriculture Minister Muhammad Aminur Rashid Yassin shared this information at a press conference held at the Secretariat in the capital today. Prime Minister's Economic and Planning Advisor Rashid Al Mahmoud Titumir was also present at the event. The Agriculture Minister said the project will initially be launched as a pilot program among farmers in 11 blocks across 11 upazilas in 10 districts. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapun said ensuring citizens' rights to information is one of the government's top priorities. He said the free flow of information is important. It is equally crucial to protect people from misinformation and misleading contents. The minister made the remarks today while speaking during a view exchange meeting with members of the core group of the Rights to Information Forum at the Secretariat as the chief guest. He said that with the increasing flow of information, the spread of misinformation is also rising. Zahiruddin Shapun called for constructive recommendations from stakeholders to amend the Rights to Information Act. He assured that all relevant stakeholders would be involved in the law-making process. State Minister for Information and Broadcasting Yasir Khan Chaudhary attended the event as the special guest. TIB Executive Director Dr. Iftikhar Zaman, Shujan Secretary Badiul Islam Majumdar, MRDI Executive Director Hasibur Rahman, and Information Secretary Mahbuba Farzana, among others, addressed the meeting. Speakers at the event proposed various reforms to enhance the effectiveness of the Rights to Information Act and ensure the free flow of information. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shapon called for leveraging Bangladesh's youthful population as a major component of the country's global branding. He made the call at an event held at a hotel in the capital today. The program was organized by the Center for NRI, which honored several banks, individuals, and institutions with branding awards for their contributions to enhancing Bangladesh's image abroad. Addressing the program, the Information Minister emphasized the need to explore new destinations for remittance income and promote the country's assets more effectively on the global stage. At the same event, State Minister for Expatriates Welfare Nurul Haq Noor said incidents such as boat tragedies in the Mediterranean leading to the deaths of migrants are harming Bangladesh's image. He stressed the importance of raising public awareness about migrating through legal channels and complying with the laws of destination countries. Noor also noted that the government is planning district-level housing facilities for expatriates. State Minister for Foreign Affairs Shongbad said the government continues to stand by expatriates with uninterrupted services amid ongoing tensions in the Middle East. She highlighted the importance of focusing on sports and cultural diplomacy to strengthen Bangladesh's global presence. Fazle Ilahi Akbar, chairman of private think tank FSDS, said effective branding would not be possible without properly projecting the country's sovereignty on the global stage. Center for NRI Chairman Shahid Chaudhary announced a global conference series in different countries throughout the coming year. The traditional festivals marking the end of the Bengali year and the beginning of the new year for the hill communities Biju, Shangrai, Boishu, Bishu, Songkran and Changlan 2026 began today. On this occasion, Prime Minister Tarique Rahman extended his greetings to the people of the hill tracts. Meanwhile, the celebrations of this major social festival of various hill communities turned the area from Bailey Road to Ramna Park in the capital into a festive venue. In the morning, the event was inaugurated at the Chittagong Hill Tracts complex by Minister for Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs Deepan Diwan and State Minister Mir Muhammad Helaluddin. A colorful procession was brought out and the festivities officially began by scattering flowers into the lake at Ramna Park. Fairs, cultural programs, and various other events are being organized with both hill communities and Bengalis participating together. The celebrations strongly highlight that the language and culture of the communities living in the Chittagong Hill Tracts are an integral part of the nation's heritage. The central theme of the festival resonates with harmony, friendship, and unity. The traditional festival bidding farewell and welcoming the Bengali year has begun in the Chittagong Hill Tracts. The festival began with the traditional flower biju of the Chakma community in Khagrachari. The flower biju of the Chakmas was celebrated by offering flowers in the Chengi and Mane rivers and the surrounding canals. Since dawn, men and women of different ages of the Chakma community offered flowers to the goddess Ganga in the river at Khobongpuria and Riverview Point in the district headquarters. The chief advisor of the district BNP, Zakia Jinat Bithi, General Secretary Eman Absar, along with administration and law enforcement officials were present on the occasion. Tomorrow is the last day of the Bengali year of the Chakmas. Guests will be entertained with main biju, cooked with various vegetables in the houses of the hill villages. And the first day of the Bengali New Year, the Chakmas will celebrate the Goedja Poedja festival. On this day, there will be a lot of joy and celebration in the neighborhoods. Today is the last day of selling and submission of nomination forms for the reserved women's seat of BNP. A festive atmosphere prevailed at the party's Neapolitan Central Office in the capital over the process in the last day. Speaking on the occasion, BNP Senior Joint Secretary General Ruhul Kabir Rizvi said that women leaders who were actively involved in past movements would be considered eligible. He hoped that competent female leaders would represent both the party and the country effectively in the parliament. After a long waiting, women leaders showed strong enthusiasm to secure their representation in the parliament. Nomination seekers also expressed their commitment, saying they would dedicate themselves to the welfare of the country if elected. Following scrutiny, the BNP Parliamentary Board will announce the final list of candidates. In the allocation of reserved women's seats in Parliament, the BNP-led alliance is set to receive 36 seats, while the Jamaat-e-Islami alliance 13 seats and independents will get 1 seat. City Mayor Dr. Shaadat Hussain said that 38 footover bridges are being constructed under the City Corporation's initiative to enhance the safety and efficiency of city's transport network, and there are plans to construct new footover bridges in the future. He gave the information while laying the foundation stone of the footover bridge on DT Road in the new Mansurabad area of Uttar Katoli ward of the city today. The mayor said these footover bridges are being built in a planned manner throughout the city as part of the Chittagong Airport Road extension project, along with other roads and significant infrastructure development. City Mayor said footover bridges have already been built as part of the project. 15 are still under construction and 17 are in the tendering process. The construction of these footover bridges will ensure safe crossing of pedestrians on busy roads, and road accidents will be significantly reduced. City Corporation Chief Engineer Anisur Rahman, Superintending Engineers Joshimuddin and Abu Sadat Tayyab, Executive Engineers Ashikul Islam and Tasmia Tahsin, local public representatives, leaders of social organizations, businessmen and dignitaries were present at that time. Now, international news. The United States and Iran have failed to reach an agreement to end their war permanently, despite lengthy talks that concluded on Sunday in the Pakistani capital, Islamabad, jeopardizing a fragile ceasefire. On Sunday, each side blamed the other for the failure of the 21-hour-long negotiations to end fighting that has killed thousands, most of them in Iran, and sent global oil and gas prices soaring since it began over 6 weeks ago. The U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance, the head of the U.S. delegation, left Islamabad after saying talks with Iran ended without a deal, claiming he had put forward a final and best offer. He said the delegation could not reach an agreement, and that's bad news for Iran, much more than it's bad news for the United States of America. However, he signaled that he was still giving Iran time to consider the offer from the United States. Iran's state broadcaster IRIB said negotiations stalled over unreasonable demands of the American side. Though the country's foreign ministry spokesman Ismail Baghei later noted that no one could have expected that after 40 days of war they would reach an agreement within one session. Pakistan's foreign minister Ishaq said Islamabad would continue to facilitate peace talks between the two longtime foes. He also insisted that the US and Iran must uphold the ceasefire agreement. On the other hand, Iran's parliamentary speaker Mohammad Bakir Ghalibaf, who led Tehran's delegation in the Pakistan talks, said his delegation raised forward-looking initiatives during negotiations in Pakistan, but the United States failed to gain the delegation in the talks. Meanwhile, UK and Australia voiced disappointment over state of US-Iran talks. UK Secretary of State for Health and Streeting said it was disappointing that the negotiations in Islamabad has stalled. Australia also expressed disappointment with Foreign Minister Penny Wong urging a continued ceasefire and a return to negotiations after stalled talks. A ceasefire between US and Iran remains in place for about 10 more days, with Pakistan and other international actors urging it to hold despite uncertainty over the diplomatic outcome. Meanwhile, in a post on his social media site Truth Social, US President Donald Trump insisted on Saturday that the strait would soon be open. US Central Command also said on Saturday that 2 of its Navy destroyers sailed through the Strait of Hormuz as it starts to clear sea mines, but Iran has denied the claim. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps has said any attempt by military vessels to pass through the Strait of Hormuz will be dealt with severely. The Iranian Deputy Parliament Speaker Hajibabi said the strait is a red line for Tehran, adding that the strait is completely in Iran's hands and its tolls must be paid in rials, the Iranian currency. Meanwhile, Iran aims to restore around 70 to 80% of its damaged refining and fuel distribution capacity within the next 2 months. Iraqi lawmakers elected Nizar Ahmadi as the country's new president on Saturday, following political disputes that delayed the vote and the formation of the next government. Nizar Ahmadi was sworn in to succeed Abdul Latif Rashid after winning a majority of lawmaker votes. Ahmadi now has 15 days to appoint a prime minister who is expected to be former head of government Nouri al-Maliki, despite U.S. concerns over the choice in previous weeks. Now, sports news. Cricket. Bangladesh Cricket Board (BCB) announced the squad for the first 2 matches of the upcoming 3-match ODI series against New Zealand national cricket team. Mehdi Hassan Miraz will lead the side as captain and Nazmul Hussain Shantu as his deputy.